little bit of a change of plans, because that's what we do, we change our plans. So the 2 hikes that I wanted to go on are both on private property, so that won't work. So I drove around the park just looking to see on the last night if there was a possibility that I might be able to find just a primitive site, but everything's booked solid. That didn't pan out, so I decided to take a shower. So I took a shower, got freshened up. Now we're just gonna head back to camp. It's about almost 4 o'clock. Hopefully the shade tree is producing some shade, and we will sit down and we'll just drink ourselves some beverages and wait for dinner time. Oh yeah, plenty of shade over here at the beverage shade tree. Nice little breeze blowing. It'll be nice just to hang out for a little bit. Drink some beverages, like I said, wait for dinner time to come. So I think I'm going to get the drinking chair, grab myself a cold one, get the little folding table out, open up the back of the truck. I'm not gonna put the tent on it yet because we'll probably use the tailgate to cook tonight, but I'm at least gonna open it up, turn the fan on, try to keep as many bugs out as possible with the fan blowing across the back, and get some windows open, because I'm guessing it's probably about 95 degrees inside of that thing right now. So little pecan delight, Lester Stovers, and a little Yingling light to go with it. At least it's not hurricane force winds today. You can actually sit out here and enjoy it. It's hard to believe that this is going to be this is the last dinner on this trip. Crazy. It has flown by for shizzle. Last full day on this trip. It's too bad there's not one more of those trees right there, not too far away. I'd set my hammock up. I brought a hammock with me just in case I had trees that I could set it up into, but perfect weather for riding out in a hammock. I'd be sleeping and snoring, man, and neighbors would be, "What you doing, man?" Anyway, I'm gonna get after reading my book. All right, it's time for some dinner, but first things first, I need a beverage. Brought me a backup too, because we're gonna need it, man. So tonight we have the Oberon, another Bell's American White Ale. Sounds pretty good. This one is a 5.8% by volume alcohol. So we're gonna give this a taste, see what she's all about. It's good. The biting flies are back with a vengeance. All right, so we're gonna get dinner going. I'm gonna keep drinking this beer while I'm thinking about getting dinner going. Of course, we're using the 2-burner again because we have no choice, but I think that this one should turn out pretty decent. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up a little bit of this onion. Seems like every video this trip we started with chopping up an onion. And this recipe does not call for necessarily chopping up an onion, but we're gonna do it because I think it'll be good. We're just gonna do a nice dice here. That's more than enough. And then that's the last that we're gonna be using of the onion. The onion's been good to us, but that's all we're gonna need. We gotta do this in phases again. So we're gonna take our cast iron, get that bad boy on the skillet, or on the 2-burner here. We're gonna start getting that warmed up. Put a little bit of oil in there. All right, we're gonna throw our onions into the oil. I guess I should get my stir stick. Oh, I love the sound of onions in oil. This 2-burner, it surprises me how fast it heats up the cast iron. And then while those onions are cooking, we're just gonna throw in the remaining ground beef that we have. So about 3/4 of a pound is what we have here. Why 3/4? Because that's what I have, scientific. So we're gonna use some anti-meat grease spray. It's really just hand sanitizer that makes me feel good. We're just cooking, we're just gonna get that ground beef so it's all brown, fine. We don't want big chunks of it. We're gonna do the usual for grease. We're gonna take our bowl with some aluminum foil in it. We'll spoon out our grease into the aluminum foil, and then we can just throw it away from there. We'll turn the gas off. We'll turn the gas off for a second. I guess it's easier if I don't have a spoon sticking out of my mouth for you guys to hear me. All right, I'm gonna carefully set this over on my table so it's out of the way, and then we're just gonna, I have a paper plate. I'm gonna transfer this meat onto that paper plate. And now the fun begins, because it's not just hamburgers and onions that we're having. Tonight we are making campfire loaded nachos, semi-loaded nachos, because I forgot the sour cream at home in the fridge. But we're gonna do nachos anyway, campfire nachos without the campfire, so we're gonna use the 2-burner, no big deal. So first thing we're gonna do is I got some just plain tortilla chips. I'm just gonna put a layer of those into the bottom of the cast iron. And then I'm gonna sprinkle a load of the meat on top. We're gonna do a few layers. And then I have green chilies and black olives. So we're gonna open those both up, and we're gonna put a little bit of each in each layer. We're gonna test the green chilies, see how hot they are. They're not bad, only a little kick. Okay, and black olives, am I a big fan of? No. Am I gonna put them on there? Yes. They're good for you. I'm not a huge fan of them. And then a little bit of green chili on there. A little bit of cheddar sharp cheese. And we're gonna repeat. We're gonna throw in another layer of nachos or tortilla chip. This is gonna be so much food. And we're just gonna put the rest of the meat in there. There's no way we're eating all of it anyway, so we might as well just throw it all in there. So more of the onions, but not onions, olives. Olives got more of the green chilies. This layer is getting saucy with them right here. And we're gonna wrap it up with some more cheese. A nice ooey layer of cheese on this one. And then we're gonna take our aluminum foil. Great an aluminum foil lid, much like we did with the pizza episode. And that's just gonna help, hopefully, keep the heat in there and melt that down. And we're just gonna cook it really low. And then we just wait, and I'm gonna continue to drink my Brewbroska. It's absolutely hard to believe that this is the last meal on this trip, or the last dinner on this trip. Crispy. I think the cheese in the middle is melting pretty good, but I'm not sure that the cheese on the top is doing much. But the American White Ale, that was pretty good. That's my second favorite one. Ironically, both beers that had the fish pictures on them were my least favorite. None of them, in my humble opinion, were as good as the Yuengling Light Lager. It's getting there. It's getting there, man. Close. All right, I think we're just gonna have to go with what we got. She's melted enough. We'll grab the hoodie and use that as our handle here. Get that down here. Set it right on that aluminum table. It'll be fine. We're gonna put a little bit of this restaurant style salsa over the top, and then we'll give you guys a look at what we got going on here, and we're just gonna dig in and eat it right out of the pan, because why not? That's what she looks like. Campfire. All right, here we go. The bottom layer definitely got too crunchy, so I think that's why it's supposed to be campfire nachos. I think that doing it over the campfire, your bottom of your pan doesn't have the direct heat, so it doesn't do that. They're still tasty, but I would say cooking it on a 2-burner was a fail. That, and I really need a lid for the cast iron to do this, so the tin foil just doesn't work, at least on the 2-burner, because you get that direct heat and it just seems to fry whatever's on the direct heat with the cast iron. I need to put some more salsa on it. It's a lot of food in here. There's no way I'm eating it all, but maybe I was supposed to put the salsa in it when it was cooking. I don't really know, but that bottom layer got destroyed. I guess that's why you do multiple layers. All right, well, I ate a good portion of it, but that's it. Get everything cleaned up and put away and organized, and then I'm gonna sit here probably on this side of the truck where it's nice and shady, and get my laptop out, and I'm gonna start editing. Morning. It is the final day of this adventure. I'm gonna start the coffee process here. I'm sure you can notice inside the truck here. we're pretty much packed up. Got everything semi-organized in there, which is kind of cool because usually I do all that stuff when I get home and it's hot inside of the topper. This way it's gonna be a little bit easier for the inside. It's got to pretty much stow the cooler. That's right, just because we're getting on the road don't mean the adventure's done. We got a few more things to knock out before this adventure is over. We're just gonna do the old medium roast instant coffee today. Nothing fancy, but I've had the French press 2 days in a row. Time to change it up. Insta Starbucks coffee coming your way. We'll just give her a stir. Make sure we get all that goodness in there. That's probably about an hour and a half late for seeing the sunrise. And out of every day that we've been here, today's the only day that we would have seen the sunrise, weather-wise. I was supposed to put onions on my nachos last night. All right, I'm gonna choke down a black cherry yogurt. Not really choke it down because I like them. I'm gonna eat it fast. We got a little over an hour drive today to the first stop, and then a little over 4.5 hours to get home. Didn't take long to choke down a yogurt. Oh boy, hard to believe. It's the last morning on this trip. Gonna run down to the restroom and hit a dumpster before we head out of the park. And then we'll get the old GPS. We'll get the old Google Maps out, punch in our destination, and we'll head the little over an hour trip to a place called Castle Rock. It's supposed to be a pretty cool little area, and it could be a good time for filming because the online comments say that its road's pretty sketchy. So said you need 4-wheel drive, don't go after it rains, and high lift. Well, I have a 4-wheel drive. I wouldn't consider it a high lift, and it rained last night. So, 1 out of 3, not bad. We should be able to pull it off though. This is a freaking Ford F-150. Come on now. And if we get stuck, then, we have a couple days worth of breakfast. We have a bag of pistachios, and we have 3/4 of a bag of Pecan Delight chip. I mean, we'll be fine. Shit, we could stretch that into 3 weeks. We're going to ration our beer. We don't have a lot of beer left. So anyway, I'm going to focus on driving here to get out of the state park and head to Castle Rock. All right, I think we're getting close, so got the cameras out. We'll video the approach. Not really sure where you're supposed to go, but no fireworks, so all right. Well, I think we're gonna go left and see what happens. And don't shoot any fireworks off, people. Supposedly the roads are bad, but I mean, so far they're good, but we'll see. I'm guessing that because there's the oil rigs up here with the storage tanks that these roads are pretty decent, but maybe beyond that we'll get to where it's not going to be pretty decent. We'll just take her slow, try not to get stuck, because we are out here in the middle of nowhere. Nice washboard roads. So I'm not really sure where we're supposed to be going from here. So Google Maps says that we have about half mile to go, so it's gonna take a little bit to get there at this pace. So right there is where we're heading, down to see those Castle Rocks. And I will tell you that, I mean, from the online Google reviews, you would have thought that you would have needed basically a farm tractor to get down in here. Not really seeing anything that would be like, this is the worst stretch by far. All right, let's hop out and see this. So just another weird random formation out here in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and absolutely nobody here. More outcroppings up there and then around to this side. And I think that we might be able to walk around that stuff, but we'll see. We'll drive out that way and see about walking around. Huge. I mean, these things are huge. Massive. If they tip over, I'm in trouble. Yeah, so Castle Rock, and you know, if you read the online reviews like I did of this place, if you look up attractions and sightseeing opportunities out here in western Kansas, they'll tell you the road's terribly bad, but I would tell you that I didn't think it was that bad at all. I mean, you have to go slow with a car, but SUV or any kind of pickup truck, you'll make it out here without any problem. Now, if it's wet, maybe that would impact things, but today it's not wet, so I didn't see it as any issue at all. But I'm going to put the camera here on the truck and walk up there by it so you can get a little bit better feel of the scale of this thing. Massive, just massive area. Beautiful. What a beautiful day. It's a shame. The last day of the trip and the weather is absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, let's drive up and look at these other rocks and then we'll go from there. Here's just another set of rocks along the way, but a little bit closer to these ones. But I think we can walk around the area at least. But it just amazes me that it's just out here in middle of nowhere, Kansas. I'm out here in my hiking shoes. Pretty cool little outcropping right there. Almost looks like a wall. It drops off pretty good. Beautiful area. Just amazing of how it's all been eroded. I mean, just look at that. Quite impressive. I'm not going to go any higher because that loose gravel right there. My flip-flops will be bad. Over there is the first set, Castle Rocks. And then we have this little outcropping right here with the truck. Seeing the truck in it gives it a little bit of perspective of how massive everything is. I'd probably wear other shoes and flip-flops if you decide to come out here, but hey, I live my life. You live yours. Pretty cool. I mean, if you're ever out in the area, I mean, I think you have to come here, look at everything, explore it a little bit. It's very similar to, you know, what we saw at Little Jerusalem Badlands State Park area, but I think that from what I was reading online, you have a little bit more freedom to walk around out here and explore than you do in the Jerusalem Park area, which is pretty strict in what you can do. Just amazing that it's out here in the middle of farmland. You just see these big, whether they're sandstone or chalk stone, I don't know which one they are, but a little bit of both in here. Now we're got the camera right in the sun, so it's not a great angle. Pretty impressive area for sure. It was well worth the small detour to stop by and see this, but I think there's one more set of outcroppings. It's amazing. The water is even still eroding in their way today. If I had hiking boots, I could probably get up there, but I'm not gonna try with my flip-flops on. And plus, I want to be respectful because I still believe that all of this stuff is on private land. They just allow the public to come out and view this incredible landscape. So got to be respectful of that. You don't want to damage anything that's been here thousands of years, and you certainly don't want to make the private landowners upset. So I think we'll hop in the truck, drive up to the next little section, see what we can see there, if we can get out and walk around. And if it looks like there's trails and stuff to walk around some of the area, then I'll throw on the hiking boots and we'll go do that. I mean, anybody who thinks these roads are bad didn't grow up in northeastern Pennsylvania, I can tell you that. Seatbelt warning, man. Get your seatbelt on, fool. All right, we're gonna find our hiking boots, get those put on, and then we're gonna go wander around in this stuff for a little bit. Some rock that's come tumbling down. It's warm out today, folks. Definitely not flip-flop terrain. It's a pretty cool little find. I mean, it's not a huge area to explore, but it's a fun area to explore. I mean, I don't know. I geek out over this stuff, if you couldn't tell. I just think it's really cool to explore areas and see different landscapes. And again, the fact that this just sticks out in farmland and then all of a sudden here you are is weird. But, I mean, the amount of erosion. Nice shady area. There's the old truck. Look at that standing pillar right there. Let me see if I can get a better angle of it so you can, that's just cool. We're gonna try to get down this without falling. Definitely not flip-flops area. Here's a better shot of that one little piece that's just standing there. The scale, I don't know if I can capture it in photos or video. This is just, it's pretty cool. I haven't seen any human signs. I mean, tracks on the roads, but as far as like there's no litter, there's nothing carved in any of the chalk stone. Pretty cool. Good job, visitors. I spoke too soon. As soon as I get over here, there's graffiti. Rat bastards. Should kept my mouth shut. Nice little ravine. I'll get a better shot of it over here. This is a, whew, I gotta catch my breath. This is an impressive angle. And up here, you just don't even know if you're looking this direction, what's out here. This is bigger when you get into it than it looked like from where we parked. So you can see the Castle Rocks where we started. From the Badlands, the Castle Rocks are it's a pillar that has collapsed. Straight down, not get down that way. I think we can hop down right here. It's pretty cool the way you can see the erosion. Looks like little pillars, little people standing there. That was a unexpected and nice little find on the way home on the last day. But I think I'm gonna close out the series from here. It was an amazing 4 nights of camping. Lake Scott State Park is really nice. We got to go on some beautiful hikes. We got to see some terrain in Kansas that was unexpected and stunning. We had amazing meals. Was able to drive around, see quite a few of the sites around the area. We got to hike around the Little Jerusalem Badlands State Park, which was amazing. And then we found this gem on the last day on the way home. So to see Castle Rock and to explore this Badlands area to where you can actually get down in and walk up and down the crevices and get close was phenomenal. So I can't think of a better way to end this series than from the Badlands here by Castle Rock. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini series. If you did, and even if you didn't, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Until the next adventure, keep it real.